following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
It's that time on a Tuesday. We're lounging here at the Star. I'm Newy Scruggs. He's Barry Church.
Yep.
That is the LSU Bayou Bengal.
Go
Danny
Tigers.
Yes,
Every day,
the Tigers are the Tigers are rolling.
They
man.
are, man.
They're rolling. Now, okay.
Uh-oh. Here we go. I like the
Are
way
we
you
gonna do
start
another
this. I
show
like the
with
way
this?
you start
Are we
this
gonna do
episode off,
another
though.
show with this?
I mean, every week we win. We need to do episodes.
All right,
We're
so
not talking about Toledo.
So, okay, yes, we'll get to the Cowboys because this is hard. This, unlike you, your college isn't your heart. It's Barry's. Barry doesn't love the Rockets like this man bleeds and loves LSU.
He said his high school when it was like Monday Night Football. It's Barry Church. He said his high school, Penn Hills High School.
Penn Hills. We'll get to the bottom of that one of these days. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
We'll break it down for y'all.
I've always wondered about the dudes who run off the junior college or the high school.
I'm bringing some popcorn for that episode, man.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down one of these days.
Yes, we definitely need
a lot of foolery. I'll tell you that much.
Here's my thing about LSU and the head coach Ed Orgeron, who I'm a fan of. By the way, should have got the USC job. Don't you think they wish they'd have given it to him now?
I'm glad.
Got to stay off TV, man, because now they beat Alabama and everybody wants to interview the coach, and like, man, you got to turn that down. Go coach your team, man. Let some of the players get out there. But you need to coach your team. I'm just saying.
He's coaching.
You see, he ain't made for TV
No.
interviews.
No. He's great. Now look. When I have my
talk about the man voice.
When I had my national radio show, I loved getting him on and Dabo Swinney. Them two dudes who loved the airtime was Dabo and Ed Orgeron.
Listen, if you want to get all the recruits, right, you need to be in front of the camera. Look at Jim Harbaugh went out there and got all the rappers and everything he did, and always in front of the camera, all that. Ed is no fool. He's going to follow suit and do the same.
If you're playing at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome for the national championship, you're going to get all the recruits. Anyway, I got to do is call. LSU's always got recruits.
You still battling, all right? We still battling. Is a section down there in the Southwest, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, all that. We still battling.
Ed can call you from his office. He doesn't have to go on every TV show, radio show around.
But if I see him with swag on TV as an 18-year-old coming out of high school, I'm like, that's the dude I want to talk to.
You got a point.
Face to the name. I'm good. Coach O? Yeah, well, I saw you on TV the other day.
I mean, I tell you what, if I coach O, would you really want to impress him? Do the old Barry Switzer. Pull out the cell phone, call him from the sideline.
Swag.
Hey, we just gave Saban that work. I just want you to know we're thinking about you.
Yeah.
We need you for the rematch next year. Anyway, have a good day.
Yeah, and then Danny McCray getting Papados off Newy's. All for that. All for
Po' boys
that.
and all.
Nah, we ain't gonna get no po' boys, man. I'm gonna put them on something new, man. I want to believe that satisfied.
See,
I don't get that man your cornbread,
man. You got to come out the gate firing back.
Yeah, man, come on, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. You saw the picture I sent you on Friday? I'm ready. I'm waiting. I'm at Papados every other week.
You sent me on Friday,
it was a Papados coaster that let you know where I was at.
Hey, look, now, in case you are new to the Players Lounge, Danny McCray and I have a bet about Joe Burrow winning the Heisman Trophy. If Joe wins, and I don't see how he won't at this point in time unless he breaks his hip, he'll be the
Heisman winner, huh?
Heisman winner, and I'll have to take him to Papados with a limited budget.
Northwest Highway, y'all going
limited budget.
Yeah, we gonna go to the one off Frankfurt.
Oh, there it is.
No, we're not. If I'm paying for it, you showing up the way I tell you. Okay, brother, bro, hey.
Whatever you got to do. Uber is alive. I'm fine with it. I'm good with that.
Uber.
My ratings
surge prices.
Yeah, my ratings not because I'm thinking about getting me a Swamp Thing. Don't drink and drive.
Hey, this is true. This is true.
Tell me, you gonna get sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Nah, Swamp Thing. That's Swamp Thing, the large one.
It ain't cheap.
We've already gone 5 minutes too long
Go
on
Tigers.
this LSU stuff.
Go
Let's
Tigers.
get back to the
Joe
Players
Burrow
Lounge,
for Heisman.
because this is about the Cowboys. Oh, last LSU thing. I just met Eddie Kennison on the way over here, by the way.
Good guy.
Great guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
He introduced himself to someone else. He said, I'm Eddie Kennison. I said, the Eddie Kennison? LSU Eddie Kennison? got up, shook his hand. Said, "Heck of a player, man."
You the man. See, I know that's why your tone changed about Papa though. Now you ready to go. All right, go ahead.
Cowboys defeat Detroit 35-27. Vegas said the Cowboys would win by 8. They won by 8. Now, their Cowboy fans conflicted. Certain Cowboy fans are like, "Hey, great, we won. Love seeing Dak 444," and they love the way the receiving was going. Now you got a certain section of people who are saying, "Hey, look, this was a backup quarterback in Jeff Driscoll. Here's Bo Scarborough, who ran for more yards, and Ezekiel Elliott. They were both drafted the same. So and then they're looking at the defense saying, what do we have? As players, how do you see this victory as former players?
If I'm on the team, I'm like, we won. It's hard to win games in the National Football League, no matter who's playing quarterback, running back, receiver, who's coaching. It's hard to win games. And if any team has learned that, the Cowboys have learned that this year. So as a player right now, if I'm in that locker room, I'm like, we got to win. Let's start stringing those together.
But where we're sitting at right now, I'm sitting there saying, hey, man, y'all done gave up 7 explosives to a Jeff Driscoll-led offense. I mean, they didn't even have their boy, who was it, Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford wasn't out there.
He wasn't out there. Jeff Driscoll was out there producing arms, legs. He was using it all. I mean, I think he had 2 runs over 20 yards right there. So, and then they let, like you said, Bo Scarborough. He averaged over 4 yards a carry on these boys, and they signed him that week. They got him off the street that week. So, I mean, as a defense, I mean, they were able to make plays to keep him in the game or whatever, win the game at the end. But as a defense, you gotta look back and sit there and say, hey, man, we gotta tighten up.
What would you rather have? A potent offense that can come back from any deficit, or a great defense?
A great defense.
I learned my lesson. I hate to reference LSU again, but if I have an offense that I feel like can get me back into any game, I'm all right with
2016 playoffs, Green Bay Packers. Shout out to a 28-point lead. We came all the way back. We still lost the game. Offense was rolling. I'd rather have a great defense right there and the offense that can score points.
In that situation.
I mean, whatever situation is, it was a playoff.
In that situation, because you needed a defense.
And right then and there, you asked the question, I answered it. I'd rather have a great defense right then and there.
Jerry Jones was asked on 105.3 The Fan, FM, the official radio home of the Cowboys. He does his show every Tuesday at 8:30. He was asked about Dak's contract. What are we waiting on? When does it go? And he said, basically, we're trying to figure out how we can pay everybody. So that's the stance that they're going with right now, is that, hey, we want you. We want you here. We're just trying to figure out how to pay everyone.
Trying to figure out how much of that pie is left.
And for me, when I see Dak Prescott with 444 yards, 3 touchdowns, another game where he's just carrying the because it's very clear. Matt Patricia said 21 is not beating us. Number 4, let's see what you can do. Mike Zimmer said the same thing. And he's more than showing you he can play. Then that night, I ended up watching Sunday Night Football between Mitchell Trubisky of the Bears and Jared Goff of the Rams. I'm looking at both of these players who were all, both first-round picks. Mitch, number 2 overall in his class. Jared Goff, number 1 in his class in 2016, in which Dak was taken to the 4th round. And Goff, and I'm not hating on him, to get what you can. He's got a record, over $100 million record. I think maybe 113, 110 or 113.
Is he the highest paid or is it wins?
Well, he's got the most guaranteed money.
That's what it is. At
the end of the day, you're going to have to give Dak Prescott Jared Goff money. And I know Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl, but right now, if you ask any talent evaluator, you got a choice. Goff, Dak, who you taking? So that's a big deal of how Jerry Jones gets this thing done, because you've got to sign Dak and you've got to get Amari. People aren't talking enough about Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is a special player. Roll Tide.
Is there a chance that Dak gets franchised?
I think there's a chance. I think there's at least, I would say 45% chance.
Ooh, that's high.
Here's the problem with that.
That's high.
If he's franchised, then Cooper's free.
They can't get both if he's franchised?
You can't franchise them both.
But not franchise both, but I don't have enough.
To me, I don't want Cooper out on the free market.
No.
I don't want him to have to make a decision.
So who do you prioritize, Cooper or Dak?
If it's me.
If it's you.
If I'm
it's
gambling,
Newy the GM.
I'm franchising Cooper.
Franchising Cooper and signing Dak?
Yeah, I'm franchising him, and Dak will be, because at this point in time, Dak's going to be free.
Yeah.
But, and this is just my thinking, we know Dak is a smart guy, and he's got a ton of endorsements. the Sleep Number beds, 7-Eleven, Pepsi,
Campbell's,
Tostitos,
Got it
Campbell's, Oikos yogurt. That's what I can count off the top of my head. Not one of those companies is going to want him to be in a Dolphins uniform or a Bengals uniform, teams that could pay him. The money is with the quarterback who plays 3 times on Sunday Night Football, because that's the maximum. Monday Night Football,
Thursday.
national game. Thursday Night Football, which is going to be on in Chicago.
Yeah.
Then you got the Thanksgiving game. That's 6 right there.
Yeah.
If the Eagles and the Cowboys keep staying right there, that game may be flexed.
Yeah, it's gotta
so that's
be flexed.
7. I mean, the ability, and then of course, you guys know from playing, the Cowboys don't play very many noon games because they're usually the primetime game. I mean, the Cowboys-Jets game was the CBS national game of the year, and the Jets hadn't won anything, but people want the Cowboys.
That's
so
true.
Dak knows the star for him means a lot of money off the field.
Well, and then you also got to take into account that if it's a guy that I don't want holding out, it's Dak, right?
That's true.
Cool.
That's
don't
true.
show up. We'll be all right. We'll pay you.
Somehow,
You miss
some way.
OTAs and all that stuff. Dak, we need you here for OTAs.
We need that leadership.
Mini camp. We need you. We need you here for all that. So take care of him, man.
Now, I say this at the end of the day, and I this is just a fact because I did a national radio show for a guy the other day. I said, name me the guy that Jerry Jones truly wanted that he let get away. I said, you can't. He's never let a player that he truly wanted get away.
That's true.
And he's never lost a quarterback.
He's not losing this guy.
Nah, it ain't no way.
And but Cooper's the one I worry about.
He could get away,
right? Because I can't read him. You talk to me.
It's like he don't.
And he want to roll tide.
It's like he just.
Hey, look! I take this
He's
is my
built in
impression
his ways. Like, he's just like, hey, nothing affects him.
This is a guy I would not want to play cards with because you can't read him. And when I say I can't read him, I can't read. He gives me what he wants to give me, but I don't know if that's how he really feels. Because I'm gonna just give you this.
I feel like everything's calculated. Like when he talk, everything has it's calculated.
Like Saban and taught him too much. Like this time I just.
But as you just said though, Jerry is not gonna let guys that he wants get away.
This is true.
If that's the case, he wouldn't have been paying some of the guys that he paid earlier this year and figuring out how to divide that pie.
See, I'm just a huge.
So we just saying the defense, as far as like paying those guys, that ain't gonna happen. No.
Well, it depends on who you're talking about.
I'm talking about Byron. He, Malik Collins.
Look.
Man, Byron didn't get no action in that last game. Talking about MVP of the game. No action.
Okay. You hadn't even mentioned the guy that you got to keep. That's Quinn.
He might price himself out.
Of the guys you just named, to me, I'm going to start with the pass rush.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a must.
That's probably the most expensive one on defense, though.
Yeah.
But that's the one I want to get.
Yeah, it is. But if you want that whole pie and you want some pie left for
look, Byron Jones is not. I'm not going to be able to keep Byron because in a corner-starved league, somebody's going to pay for him.
Man, it's like $15 million a year for a corner. Now.
How much you paying for Quinn? And how long is this deal?
We might get like 17 a year on the market.
I'm going to pay Quinn because Quinn gets to the quarterback. If I'm going to pay a corner, I need him to get.
No, I'm saying, how much are you paying Quinn? If we saying that Byron's going, for possibly for 15 somewhere.
That's a great question.
Huge chunks.
Because D-Law just got paid.
He just got paid 21 something a year.
It's a great question.
Gonna get like what you think, like 15, 16
at least.
Quinn, he keep
30
balling.
plus
30. I mean,
how many millions do we have?
About to be a 5-man team.
The cap must be going up like crazy this year.
And I can read Quinn from this standpoint. You gonna look at the dollars? How much?
How much you saying? Oh, y'all want me here for what?
That's when they start.
Hey, what you saying over here?
There ain't no state tax over here, man. You want to go back to Miami?
That is true. Hey,
state tax will save you some money.
That is true.
Well, he won't be going to Miami.
Yeah, that's Taco Town.
So that's an interesting thing there. But overall, for me, here's what I was happy for. I was happy for Dak Prescott from the standpoint. So many people, especially early on in the year, have dogged this guy and not given him credit for what he's. Oh, he only wins because of the offensive line. Oh, he's at the. He's got Zeke there. We're around him, and we know what he does and how people in this building feel about him. Now the play is gone, and it's his 4th year. I mean, one of the things that I see the criticism of Dak the way I saw people had the criticisms of Russell Wilson early on. Oh, it's just your defense. You're not this.
It's your running game.
Right. Never looking at the fact that, you know what happens to guys? They get better. They grow. Aaron Rodgers' first year wasn't good, but Aaron grew. Steve McNair's first year hardly played, but he grew. I just felt like that none of that was given to Dak Prescott, that as a fourth-round pick, people expected him. And they were trying to compare, well, he's not better than Carson Wentz. He's not better than Goff. I'm like, the guy was Rookie of the Year, wasn't he?
He has a winning record all 3 years. I mean,
as the receiving targets started to diminish, especially last year with that whole receiver by committee mess that didn't work out, I felt like he wasn't given the credit. He was given all the blame, but none of the credit.
I mean, look what he did last week.
I'm going to tell you this, overreaction Monday, which is unfortunate, so I just want to move past this. Let's put it out there like this. If Dak has a bad game or a so-so game against New England, all of a sudden then they're going to start saying the same thing. I don't know if he's worth it. So I'm going to put that out there to the side and say, no matter what happens this game, Dak has balled, and he deserves all the money that he's going to get from Jerry.
He definitely deserves his money. I mean, the guy's on fire.
Yeah, let's not let him go out here. Hopefully he doesn't. Let him go out here and have a so-so game, and then they start saying, oh, yeah, once he plays against an elite defense, then he really can't get it done. Minus all that, the dude has been balling. He's been getting better, like Newy said, each year, each game. Pay the man. He's worth it. Yes,
John Kitna, Kellen Moore, they have come in here and really done a lot of the things that Dak likes to do, which makes me go back and think about Scott Linehan. Scott was running his offense.
You saw that.
A lot of people dislike Scott's offense.
And what he should have been doing, and this is just my feeling as a coach. It was Doug Collins, the former basketball coach, he said, Newy, your job as a coach is to cover up the warts of your team and figure out what is it they do best and do that. I felt like Scott Linehan ran his offense, and Dak needed to fit into that versus saying, Dak, what is it you do well?
Yeah.
And let's figure that out and do that. And I feel like that is what I'm seeing here. And, oh, by the way, the targets are better. Okay, right. The carpenter needs tools. The tools are a lot better to work with.
Coop, Gallup throwing up right before
Cobb going for 100 twice.
Jarwin. I mean,
yes,
we need to get him the ball more.
Cobb is a
of that.
better player than Cole Beasley.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I like Cole Beasley as a person, cool dude, but you got a better player, and it makes a difference. I mean, at the end of the day, you need players. This game is still won with players. All right, we got a lot to get to here on the Players Lounge with Danny McCray and Barry Church and myself, Newy Scruggs. We'll get to our football phrase of the day. We got to get into the New England Patriots, what's going on there. Also, some thoughts about Colin Kaepernick and Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns, who was suspended indefinitely after he hit Mason Rudolph in the head with his own helmet on Thursday Night Football. You're listening to Dallas Cowboys Radio on DallasCowboys.com.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Whether you're into being a part of this or more into something like this, SeatGeek has the tickets to the events you love. It's the easiest way to find, buy, and sell tickets. Plus, with their Deal Score technology, they'll recommend the best seats in the house at the best value. So the next time you're craving this,
hey, blue 20!
Download the SeatGeek app and let's go. SeatGeek.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheer.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One score September 2019.
Back to the Players Lounge.
You're lounging. I'm Newy Scruggs. He's Barry Church. That's Danny McCray. They're former Dallas Cowboys players. I'm not. The Dallas Cowboys will host their third annual Christmas at the Star presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb from November 22nd through December 21st, taking place at the Star in Frisco. Enjoy free, family-friendly events throughout the holiday season, including the Christmas Spectacular presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb and the opportunity to take a photo with Santa Claus. For more information, visit thestarinfrisco.com. Danny?
And with that photo, that opportunity, we have an opportunity for you to get $10 off of that photo. All you have to do is register for one of our holiday camps at AT&T Stadium, January 2nd and December 30th at www.dallascowboys.com/academy. Sign up and you'll get a $10 discount on that Christmas photo.
If your child does not want to be with Santa Claus and is scared of Santa Claus, please don't put your child on that. Say those are still
I made that mistake.
Worst photos.
I made that mistake.
But you can still send them to our camp though. Let them come hang out with us. Me and my coaches, all former NFL players. Let them come hang out with us. No Santa Claus.
Here's the thing: you hold your child and then you stand next to Santa. But if your child don't want to touch Santa, I got a picture of my youngest and she like.
Same here.
And I knew the child wasn't feeling Santa, but it's something Mama wanted. Mama wanted it. It's like no.
So you let it happen.
Yeah, I did.
Ain't that so? He gonna do it. Now he give a PSA. Oh, both of y'all.
I was over there watching.
Both of y'all.
Well, first off, spoken from somebody who don't have a child.
You're right.
Let me tell you something. You know what it was? Go ahead. It's like that time when it was Mitt Romney and Obama doing a presidential debate, and Obama was like, proceed. What am I going to do? At this point, she wants this. She feels like no. Here's what you're going to find out real quick, Danny. When you have a child, you get dumber. As a guy.
Goodness,
you get dumber.
Now that's something to look forward to, right?
Now, if her mom or some other lady down the street who happened to be at the event said, yeah, you may not want him with Santa. Okay, yeah, she'll listen to that. But you just some dude.
Ain't that something?
Uh-huh. I'm just telling you, man, you get dumber. You just sit back and just try to tell you.
I tried. Yeah, exactly. I just sit back and I told you.
That's not the hill to die on. Because if you go home and she didn't have a picture with Santa and she think that you prevented it from doing it, I'm not catching that side eye for that. No, I'm just look at this photo like,
Well, hey, baby, I'm gonna cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah. It's a healthy bridge.
Santa, the Easter Bunny. That time I paid money for Barney to come to the house, and she loved watching Barney. But when Barney came to the house, she was scared of Barney. Didn't want to see Barney or go near Barney till Barney was leaving. Then clutch Barney's leg.
Oh, listen.
Oh yeah. As soon as they leave, it's where they going? They start crying because he ain't there no more.
My wife is scared of mascots, so I'm not gonna have that issue. Okay. We probably won't have nobody coming over for birthday. Yeah, man.
Can't wait.
As usual, Newy telling me y'all hating on me again.
Okay, Tyson said it best. Everybody got a game plan until they get hit in the mouth.
We shall see.
Okay, Santa. If she wants the photo of Lil McCray with Santa, go ahead and let it go down.
She might get it, but if
let it go down.
If he or she start acting a fool when she get up close, then I'm gonna back off. I might fall on the sword for that one. I might.
At that point in time, it's too late. At that point,
so it already counts. It already crossed the line.
Right. At that point in time, you just go out to sit up here and just.
Take it.
That is what.
Man, my little kid gonna like Santa Claus. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, say that.
Yeah. So there you go. Now. You know what? The kid run up to Santa Claus all the time. Want photos of Santa all the time. But at that point in time, she was not ready for that.
Just can't go too early.
Bring your kid to get a photo with me at my holiday camp. How about that? Dallas Cowboys holiday camp. That's the point. Bring him to take a picture with me.
So when in doubt, now here's my thing. You can still take the picture of Santa. Mama, when in doubt, you hold your child. You keep your child on the right. Santa's on your left. This is a horror story.
This scarred news.
It's not even scarred. I see this every year. I mean, this is the thing.
And he get mad every time you look and see somebody doing it.
Okay, I tell you what. On your Facebook page, I challenge you to do this. Say, hey, do you have any photos with your kid crying with Santa? And see how many you get, man.
We running this on Twitter right now. If you have any, just put it on there. I'll start a thread later on the day, and we'll see how many we get.
Truly.
Newy, if it's more than 40, I think about not getting the appetizer at Papa Do's.
I'm just saying, it can be done.
Saving some money.
You can have this parental moment you want so bad, your child with Santa, but you need to be. If your child's on your left hand, Santa be on your right, because you don't want to get it because if they too close, then they be The photo be looking at Santa like that.
Go get him a Band-Aid.
I bet he's scarred.
Christmas coming back. The grits.
Daggers.
The grits.
You know who else I feel bad for? I feel bad for those Santas, man. I feel bad for them Santas. Those Santas are like,
this must happen year in and year out.
Like, man, I got to take another.
Oh, here we go.
Christmas is back.
Here go the alarm, all that. Get the kids ready.
He mad. He mad the whole day now. He don't want to take out the trash.
Like me on this. No, I ain't doing it.
He mad at everything.
Not washing dishes. I'm not doing anything.
He blowing the horn on the way to work. He mad at everybody. Man, you at the light too long.
Get out the way. Light just turned green. Get out the way.
It's all right, man. It's all right. They gonna take care of it.
My kids are too old. Now, I'm telling you, now the 8-year the last photo, she brought the dog. She ended up bringing we got a picture of the kids and Santa and the dog. So
your PSA work, man. Everybody that's listening to the show right now, they taking heed to this.
How my wife got this dog of mine, it's not a service dog either. How she got this dog into the place to take a photo of Santa.
He's so mad he's snitching now.
He that's how we know. It's
Wilders away.
She's not gonna get in there with a dog this year.
No, my wife take that dog everywhere, man. My wife lets that dog sit in the front seat and tell my kids to sit in the back.
Oh,
people love their pets.
She love pets. Dog, man. I may not get fed. That dog never misses a meal. And if that dog is out of food, she go right to the store. You hungry? Something in the fridge?
Man, there sounds like there's layers to the story.
Yeah,
right
I know.
We
just gonna keep peeling in layers back. When we get to week 16, we had the whole story.
My wife loves me because I brought the dog home, though. So I always have that. I was like, I found the dog. I was at work. I found the dog. Let's talk about the next opponent for the Cowboys. They travel to face the 9-1 New England Patriots, who've not lost at Gillette Stadium. Most of this team has never played at New England. A lot of guys on this team have never played against Tom Brady and a Bill Belichick coach team. So my question for you guys, what's the approach as you go up here to a game in which Vegas doesn't think you're going to win? If Jeff Driscoll can get you for the kind of offense he did and you're not running the football, what do you do and how do you get ready for this game that we all are going to use as a measuring stick?
I'm sure the coaches already are mentioning this or when they get in on Wednesday, they'll mention it. The Patriots offense is not great, right? And now, neither is our defense, but I think that if we focus our efforts on Edelman and stopping the run, I think we'll be just fine. Now, we need to run the ball on offense. They've shown that people have been able to run the ball on them. If we are able to do that, I think that we have a great shot at winning the game. If we come out and Zeke has 20 carries for 40 yards and they're forcing Dak to beat them, I think the game is more like a 60-40. We might be in trouble.
Yeah, if we can keep their defense unbalanced, which is a hard thing to do because all Belichick coach teams, they go into each and every game and say, hey, we're going to take away what you do best. And to me, I don't know if it's we throw the ball best right now or if we run the ball best right now. But if they're able to take one of those options completely away, I think we'll be in trouble. But if we can keep them unbalanced, that means Dax, he's hitting them with the play action. Zeke's hitting, 5 here, 8 here, 3 here. He's getting those clouds in the dust type yards. But Dax also using that for play action and keeping them unbalanced. I think we'll have a great shot. Now, defensively, like you're right. Tom Brady and this offense has not played well at all. Sony Michel, he's looked like a shell of himself these past couple weeks. But for some reason, them boys for primetime games, they come to play. So we're going to have to do something to type some type of way. We got to type to, I can't even speak right now, but we got to do something to get Brady down. We got to do something.
Barry, you've played up there in an AFC Championship game when you were with Jacksonville. I've been there once before, but what's the kind of atmosphere these players need to be ready for?
It's electric. And, these guys are used to playing in front of primetime, electric-type fans that come with playing in primetime games. But up there, it's a whole new beast. You got the fans dropping F-bombs at you as you're walking out.
Might have some snow.
You got the dudes with the muskets in the back firing it off. Like you said, it might be brisk out there. So,
they drive you all the way back into the woods,
all the
right?
way back. It's like Lambeau. You in some neighborhood for a second, and then boom, there's a stadium.
You are in Patriots land.
It's land for real. And it's going to be a hype atmosphere. Everybody gets up to play the Cowboys, so it's going to be hype.
More intense atmosphere than going to the Link in Philadelphia?
That's tough, man, because the Link, as you know, and you know both, that's a hard place to play. And the only reason I say they're kind of used to that because they go there twice or they go there, every single year. But other teams coming into the Link, That's a tough place to
That's
play.
why I brought it up, because that's when I just think about the places that I've been on the road for the Cowboys where, there's no fans cheering for you like it is in Detroit, where, they come out there and they're flipping you the bird right away and they're after you. To me, I've seen no more intense place than Philadelphia.
Yeah, I have to say Philly's number one on that
I think on par. I think on par, and especially depending on the situation, right? If most of the time we go play Philly as a rivalry game, and that game really means something. This game means something in New England as well, so I think the atmosphere would be crazy. One thing I want to touch on is we kind of spoke about how we can beat New England and how they're going to try to stop us. You can almost guarantee that Coop is getting doubled. And they stacking the box. There'll be Gilmore in the safety over the top, and whoever else they got, they running whatever they can to stop the run. So Cobb and Gallup need to be ready to work.
Whoa. Add one more. Just as you said it, made me think. All right. Jarwin. What have we seen against teams who've been able to beat them? And we like with Kansas City, what they were able to use, how they used Travis Kelce against them.
That's a big if.
And I'm not going to lie.
Jarwin is the guy that I'm looking at in terms
Jarwin's
of.
good.
There's something in front of.
He's a mismatch nightmare. But they got some safeties back there. They got some good cover safeties back there. But I would like to see it. I would like to see Jarwin go out there and try to mismatch.
But you like to see him get more snaps.
Oh yeah.
In order to do that,
you got to. Hey,
right?
You know what you got to do.
Especially in this game, you're going to need some yards after the catch. If Jason catches it at 7 yards, probably not going further than 9. But a guy like Jarwin, we've seen him be able to make catches and get the ball down. To me, this is a game where you're going to need those extra yards. If you can get an extra 5, 6, 10 yards after a catch that Jarwin showed you got to be able to get it. And we're not talking about it, but Brett Maher.
He's going to have to come. He's going to have to come in clutch.
You're going to have to take every
and he's got to be consistent.
Yes.
Well, we better not try to kick 60-yarders.
Yeah, that's true. So if we're relying on 60 yards, we're in trouble.
Let's not do that.
Trouble.
And while we're on it, let's make sure that we have our special teams intact as well. Because going back to that Detroit game,
they might attack the special teams.
Listen, let me tell you this. Detroit game, I know we talked about it. You never thought you would hear that many people say, man, where is Heath?
You right
he
about
was
that.
Missed on defense and special teams during last week.
Yeah, you right about that. I mean, we saw the safeties get exposed. As soon as Woods went out, they went straight at both of those safeties, and we saw what happened. Mixed tackle, touchdown.
And then you seen the returns on special teams.
You seen the returns.
That is Jeff Heath, number 38. That's the effect that he has on the game. Like him or not.
Up at one time.
Yes, like him or not, he affects the game in a positive way.
I'm telling you, who's going to have a huge game, though, is going to have to be those two interior guys, Michael Bennett and Malik Collins. I mean, I think we've seen in the past when Brady was in his prime, the only thing that really kind of affected him is if you get that interior pressure and you force him outside the pocket where he's nowhere near as effective as he is inside the pocket. So those two guys are going to have a huge game.
That was Rob Ryan's. I think that was our best defensive game under Rob Ryan.
Yeah,
and that was
14 points.
That was the main focus.
Get up the
middle, make him move,
make him loop, do something,
and throw it outside the numbers. And we held him to 19.
It was like, I think it was 19, 17,
and we went in and said, if we hold them to 19, we're good. And they scored it, and we didn't score.
And we ain't scored no points.
Didn't score.
They scored like 21. It was a breaking touchdown.
It was a good game. Real close.
It was a good football game. I was there for that one. So speaking of the DBs here, Brown's out for the year. So Anthony Brown's out for the year.
Did he tear his he tore his triceps?
I think so. He had surgery repaired. So
Jordan Lewis is now he's going to be your full-time slot guy and our first and only guest here on the Players Lounge, CJ, is going to see more time here. And my first thought process is, if you're Tom Brady, they're going to try and go after these. Let's see. Right, you got to test them. Let's see what these guys have.
You have to. I mean, like you said, you got Anthony Brown's out of the game or out of the season from now on. We've seen what happened last. Jeff Driscoll had a couple big, huge chunk plays against his defense. So you're going to have to test them. They're a young team. They're experienced back there just because they played since they were rookies. But you got to test them out, and I think Brady will.
They definitely will. I think it's a positive that the lack of weapons are so far this season. What they've shown, the lack of weapons, is when these substitutions will be happening. So hopefully this is not a big game for Sanu or Dorsett. And we stave him off, but good. He will get tested.
He will get tested.
He will get tested.
29.
And Edelman will be trying to work Jordan Lewis in the slot.
They will. And it just has to be a huge, to me, for this defense to play good. It has to be a huge game for the upfront. Just those four guys. They got to get after this team, man. They got to.
Yeah.
All right. You're listening to the Players Lounge. You're watching the Players Lounge. Barry Church, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Instagram and Twitter, both at Barry Church 42.
And Danny DMac44 on Twitter. On Instagram is Danny_McCray40.
All right, find me at Newy Scruggs, NEWYSCRUGGS on Twitter. That's Newy Scruggs on Twitter, Newy Scruggs Sports on Facebook here. All right, let me jump back into college football here. Tua Tagovailoa, terrible injury, hip surgery, made me think, should he declare for the draft or go back to school? What do you guys think?
To me, that's a tough one, man.
I'm getting out of there.
You got to see, because they allow you to see like where you would be projected to be drafted at before you go ahead and try to declare and all that good stuff. So to me, I got to see where I'm at now. If I'm in the top 5, even top 10, I'm pulling the trigger.
He has a history of these injuries, though. So what's to say that next year won't be another injury-riddled season? Get out of there. You know that somebody's still gonna take a chance on him now. Mm-hmm. He goes back to college next year and has any type of ankle injury where he needs surgery, the hip injury, or something happens with that.
That's true.
He's going from taking a chance to
losing millions. Losing millions.
I'm getting out of there. Go out of there. The taste that people have in their mouth for Tua is a great quarterback.
He is.
Now he just has a little injury thing that they got to figure out if he's going to make the full recovery. Yep. Leave on that.
If I was him, I'd declare. Hopefully, in his best circumstance, he drops a little bit, still gets drafted pretty high, but drops a little bit to a team that doesn't really need him right then and there to start, so he can sit back a little bit, kind of learn the game, or heal up a little bit more from that injury. But I mean, the worst case scenario, if somebody takes him early in the first round and they want him to be that guy from the jump, I think
we know he wasn't going first anyway.
Okay, based on what you just said, I have the perfect team for Tua: the Los Angeles Chargers.
Man, man. Talk about stinking up the joint.
Because they need a new quarterback, and if they are not ready, if the owners, and this is because I think this is a span. I think the head coach is ready to go ahead and move on, but the Spanoses may not, and they may want one more year, especially in their new stadium.
Yeah, that is true.
So if you wanted to bring Phillip Rivers back as you go into this new stadium and seeing if you can possibly fill it up with someone else besides the other team's fans.
Man.
But having Tua in the back, I feel like this is what we saw with Willis McGahee many years ago when Miami played the national championship game against Ohio State. He suffered that terrible leg injury. Nasty. He still came out, and I thought Drew Rosenhaus did an excellent job of selling him. He sold him. McGahee goes to the first round to Buffalo. Ends up having a productive and a very good game. It's a knee versus a hip. People are talking about Bo Jackson type of injury, but I come back and say Bo was injured in the 90s. Medicine's come a long, long way since then. But your point about, hey, it's not the first time Tua's been hurt. Sometimes people get that day.
You're about to say 3 straight
years.
Both
ankles and the hip.
Yeah. Hurt players stay hurt.
That is true.
But if you're the Chargers, at some point in time, you've got to pull the trigger on moving on from Phillip Rivers.
He was downright terrible. That was
some point now. I saw the man throw 4 interceptions.
And that's not last week he threw 3.
And it's consistently every year they had these horrible starts, and then they start like coming back at the end,
clicking a little bit.
Hey man,
he could have threw 5. Honey Badger dropped the punt. He could have fair.
Get out of there. It's going to be a battle for quarterbacks with Chicago and LA next year.
Yeah, because Phillip Rivers can't even move. You see him trying to advance. Yeah. So I'm like, come on, man.
Why are we on quarterbacks? This Cam Newton and Kyle Allen.
Yeah, we got
going on. Ooh, so what do we do now?
Everybody and their mom wanted to put Kyle Allen in there. Get rid of Cam, trade him. Yeah,
the owner came out and spoke to the Charlotte media yesterday, and he said that nothing has been decided. And the owner he was a big hedge fund guy, billionaire. Mm-hmm. So this is a man that understands and knows how to get out there and make some money. And, you don't get that much money if you are an impulse guy. You're a guy that you read the reports, you go everything, you make really smart, educated decisions. I think he'll do the same thing. I've consistently said to people, Cam Newton makes $19 million next year. Case Keenum made $18 million last year with Denver Broncos. This is a steal for money.
Right.
I would not be trying to get rid of him. They drafted Will Grier just this last season. So, if anything, I'm going to make sure, Cam, what do you have? Let's see what you have, but I'm keeping him.
Yeah, you got to.
He doesn't play for the rest of the year. He gets almost a full year of rest.
He should be healthy.
To get healthy, feet, shoulders, all that.
Why not come back with all 3 quarterbacks? Cam Newton, Kyle Allen, and Will Grier. And maybe Grier gets better.
That's true.
You used a premium pick on the second-day pick on the guy. So I would come back with those 3 quarterbacks and see where you go. They're not going to be high enough in the draft to take one of the, to take Joe Burrow or to possibly take the kid from Oregon, Abraham. So to me, I would just sit Justin Herbert. I would just wait and see what I have here.
Yeah, I go with it too. I agree with you on that. $19 million for a franchise quarterback. That's
nothing.
That's dirt cheap.
That's nothing.
We know one thing. Kyle Allen, he can't. I'm not putting him in the starting lineup.
The jury's still out on him. Right? It depends on how he finishes the year. He was pretty bad. He looked pretty bad. He was pretty bad.
You know what he looked like to me? Kyle Allen looked like a guy that people all of a sudden had tape. Okay, we got
this was going on.
This is what he does, and that's. I think sometimes fans forget. These are the brightest minds in football, man. These defensive coordinators are going to figure it out.
This is true.
Look at the Rams this year.
The words out of my mouth. Look at the Rams.
Okay, so ain't nobody working with Sean McVay getting a job this year.
Nobody.
Nobody. So right.
They found him out in Washington quick. They found that Alfred Morrison RG3 solution.
They cracked that code. Got it. We got the code.
They got us. Come on out.
Come on out. We see you.
Right, so Kyle Allen, when I looked, I was like, oh man, they got tape. They know the tendencies. They know what you do. They got the tape,
looked
man.
Bad.
They got the tape. So
what are we doing in Tennessee though?
What's up with Tennessee?
Mariota on the bench.
And Tannehill.
And they got Tannehill out there.
What, 6-5? No, they're 5-5 right now.
No. Don't you start talking about Tannehill after we just talked about the rest of these
quarterbacks. No, I ain't saying that.
They need a quarterback.
They need a Q. They got a backup. Tannehill could be a backup.
Look, you know what? If Marcus Mariota, well, that's not if. When they put him on the streets, if I'm the Cowboys, I call him. If I'm Philadelphia, I call him.
We happy with Cooper Rush.
Who?
We cool. Huh? You ain't see the right?
What you thought? What?
Cooper? They say we're happy with our quarterback situation.
Man.
Did you read what I read?
I don't know what you read.
I read Jerry said we are happy in our quarterback situation right now. We are fortunate to be where we're at.
And let me also, that's when he was asked about Colin Kaepernick. Okay? When he was asked about Colin Kaepernick, he was fine with his quarterback situation.
I'm just saying, he said it.
And
I read it good.
Sure, you know what Jerry said one time with the all-time great lines? Just because I said it doesn't make it so.
I'm with it, man. I had to fact check. They said we happy with where we at, man.
Another great line that Bill Parcells used to say. I reserve the right to change my mind. And after the season, when Marcus Mariota comes free, if I'm the Cowboys, I would give him a phone call.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles will, because when Chip Kelly was there, they were trying hard to get him and they couldn't move up and get him. And once again, folks, I'm talking about as a backup.
Yeah, we don't need him in
there. Dak Prescott goes out of the game, I think you need somebody with some mobility and somebody who gets – now, I don't know what's wrong with Mariota. Maybe, this is why you bring in a Kitten and a Kellen Moore, guys who
get him right. 2 years ago, he beat KC in the playoffs.
Yeah, what can you do? I don't think he's broken to the point of, hey man, get this guy out the league. No, this isn't Nathan Peterman. It's not Mike Glennon. Okay,
that dude. It was so sad to watch that dude.
Man, we used to hope we played against him, man.
It was so sad.
Dude
to see
trying to
that.
make the Pro Bowl, and that dude said,
"Hey, he was giving gifts.
Get out the way."
That was sad. I hate
running in front of somebody trying to get
you get a pick. You get a pick. I mean,
I'm getting one this week.
We got Peterman. Oh, I need all the playing time.
All right, let's take another break here. Got to get our football phrase of the day. Also, we have not spoken about Arlington Martin's Myles Garrett getting suspended indefinitely for taking Mason Rudolph of the Steelers' helmet and hitting him over the head. That's Danny McCray. He's Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs. You're in the Players Lounge.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheered.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One score September 2019.
Whether you're into being a part of this or more into something like this, SeatGeek has the tickets to the events you love. It's the easiest way to find, buy, and sell tickets. Plus, with their deal score technology, they'll recommend the best seats in the house at the best value. So the next time you're craving this,
Ready? Blue 20!
download the SeatGeek app and let's go. SeatGeek.
Hey Cowboys Nation, this season when the Cowboys win, you get to experience the sweet taste of victory because if the Cowboys win, the next day Dunkin' is offering a free medium hot or iced coffee. So don't just celebrate the Cowboys' success from the sidelines, head to Dunkin' and treat yourself to real victory. Because this season, Cowboys fans aren't only winning on game day, they're winning the next day too with a free medium coffee. Cowboys Nation runs on Dunkin'. Excludes cold brew. Limit 1 per guest. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Join us at another official Dallas Cowboys watch party presented by AT&T on Sunday, November 24th. Enjoy a festive game day atmosphere on Tostitos Championship Plaza at the Star in Frisco as the Dallas Cowboys take on the New England Patriots. Admission and parking, they're free. Visit thestarinfrisco.com for details. Danny McCray, the LSU Bayou Bengal, the Toledo Rocket. Barry Church, yeah, I gave it to you. You got to own it. I am the UNC Pembroke Brave. Newy Scruggs. University of North Carolina, Pembroke, baby. Started off as a North Carolina Indian Normal School back in 1887.
It is.
I'm right. You saw it already. Go ahead, tell America. Tell America I'm right.
I just bringing up. Yeah, you was right.
Okay,
you was right when you said what you said when you said it.
which was these Santa Claus photos making these babies take a picture with Santa, and they don't want to do it because of your selfishness and your ego getting in the way of your child's desires. There you go. Yeah, go ahead, show it.
Yeah, I think they put the camera on there.
Yeah,
he's on there. He was on there.
Okay,
there you go.
So no, put it back. There you go. Put it back.
Hold on. We got to bring it back. There we go.
Okay, so and if you there you go, right there.
Little Church is not happy.
He was not with it. He was not happy.
And that's hey man. So just think test it out. If your child's you know how to read your baby. Okay, by this point in time you know how to read your baby.
I should.
I wouldn't know. No, you will.
I'm not there yet.
I didn't read him right.
Trust me.
he probably want to slap you after that.
That was hot.
He don't want no candy from you or nothing.
Want some of Daddy's juice? No, I want no juice.
No juice. The baby gonna turn from was that Baby Stewie on Family Guy? It'll turn on you, man.
Oh, man.
So, Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns suspended indefinitely by the NFL. We saw Thursday night where he sacked Mason Rudolph. Rudolph felt he gave him too much business. Rudolph starts pulling on Garrett's helmet, trying to pull it off. Garrett pulls him back. Rudolph hits him in the privates. Garrett rips off Mason Rudolph's helmet there and then swings it and hits him right over the head. The NFL suspended him for the rest of the season, they say indefinitely, which means the NFL's letting Myles Garrett know there's no guarantee that you're going to get back on the field in 2020.
Okay.
Now, Garrett is going to appeal it, and this is where you go to the NFLPA and you try to say what is in the collective bargaining agreement between the players union and the owners. Can the owners just sit around here and can the leagues just suspend him like that indefinitely, or is there a certain amount of time or a due process that he needs to go through? First off, did they get it right in saying to Myles Garrett he can't play again this year?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he took the man's helmet off. I would, when it first happened and he was trying to take Garrett's helmet off and all that stuff, I was all right with it. He took his helmet off, and I was even okay with that. But after that, you got to kind of toss the helmet to the side. And if he runs up on you like that, give him a two-piece, and then it is what it is. But, I mean, you took a weapon like that and kind of split my man over the head with it.
Yeah, and everybody always says if was a fifth.
That is true.
You say what you want to. If he hits that dude not correctly, but in a different way,
if it doesn't hit the crown of his helmet, but hits his face,
we talk about something totally different.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about
possible death,
criminal charges.
Okay, there's a video right
look
now.
At that. Look at it. I mean,
yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. If he hits him in a different, like he doesn't turn his head right there. He could have caught his eye, could have caught the nose, could have caught it could, and the blood
facial damage.
And me being Mason Rudolph or his family into that, it's not that much apologizing you can do.
Yeah. He was definitely wrong for that.
Heat of the moment, dog.
Yeah, you take the helmet off. I'm even cool with that. You take his helmet off, you throw it to the side, and if he still wants problems, you give him the problem.
Yeah, you could put the hands on.
He could have just took his fist and
just
punched him right in the face, and we would maybe he gets a game. But we don't see anything like this. And Myles Garrett went to high school at Arlington March. So he's down the road. Myles Garrett has done a lot of stuff, around here with people, and he's a good kid, nice guy. DeMarcus Ware, former Cowboy, posted a video how he's worked out with Myles Garrett. And he's like, he was disappointed. That's not the guy he knows. And I think Chris Long said something, too, that he worked with his foundation, the Water Boys. And he's like, hey, and once again saying, that was wrong. You can't do it. But he also said, this is not a bad guy. And now for Myles Garrett comes the repairing of your reputation. This is still a guy who was a first overall pick in the draft. This is a difference maker on the Cleveland Browns. But how do you go back? And Danny, you're doing a lot of work in the community now for the Dallas Cowboys. How does one go back and try to rehabilitate that image? The owner of the Browns says that they're not going to throw him away. The head coach has said, he's still our guy. We're going to stand behind. We don't condone what he did. So how do you do it?
Right, man. So like any other situation, when you have somebody who makes a mistake or makes a bad decision, the first thing you have to do is own up to it. And then you have to go out in the public, and if you're talking to kids or you're talking to adults who made mistakes, and let them know that you accepted your fault in this, and let them know that you're working to be able to make better decisions in a heated situation like that.
You got to be able to do that. You got to, if you made a mistake like that, you got to be able to go out there and repair it. And like you said, you got to be hold yourself to accountable when you're going to speaking to these kids. Let them know that I did this. I own it. I did it, but this is not the right way. This is not how you go about things. And I'm sure he'll be able to do that. And there's no way Cleveland's going to get rid of him. This guy 10.5 sacks already this season. He's a difference maker, like you said. So I know they're not going to.
No, they shouldn't get rid of him. Yeah. I mean, he's a first time offender.
Yeah, and this is out of character, like we've said. Like everybody who's ever met him they've all said this is out of character.
I will ask this. I had a coach, Chris Harris, when I was in Chicago, that asked me. He asked us as a group not every day, but it was like one of those brain teaser things. And he says, "Tell me the difference between a mistake and a bad decision."
What is it?
Tell me. You can't figure it out.
Yeah, that's true.
Because somebody go do something and you knew what you was doing, man. That's a bad decision. You didn't make a mistake.
Yeah, that is true.
You didn't accidentally run a red light. You made a bad decision. That was a bad decision. That wasn't a mistake. Oh man, I accidentally hit him too hard, or the helmet area moved, and all that stuff. That's a mistake. Yeah. My guy right there, bad decision.
Yes,
that's true. But a lot of time when people come out and they say it and they start owning up to it, they say, "Oh man, I made a mistake." Nah, you didn't.
Yeah, you got to be accountable.
That was bad judgment. You made a bad decision.
Go out and make sure you say it. He came out. He apologized to Rudolph and said his actions that were wrong. So he has done that part to take accountability of it. I'm just going to be very interested to see what.
Do you think the other suspensions were valid? Like I think Pouncey got 3. Obajawi got 1.
If we're going to talk about player safety and we have something like that happen, you've got to go ahead and follow through with it.
I agree
with you. But Pouncey can go anywhere with me.
He's always at the barbecue.
He can go anywhere with me.
He always at the barbecue.
I'll buy you drinks. we can go to the same spot. I'm on your team.
He's going to have you back.
So I don't care who disagrees with me. I wish Myles Garrett good luck in trying to rehabilitate his career. Yeah. Nick Van Exel's a buddy of mine. Nick Van Exel shoved a referee once, and it was made all kinds of news. It was bad. It was a bad look. Nick came back from that, but a lot of people labeled Nick, a bad guy, and he had a moment in his life he wants to edit out. And I raised my hand as somebody who's had a moment in their life that says, "Boy, I wish I wouldn't have made that bad decision that you talked about here." So hopefully, people can find a way to give him some grace, and he can also go out and earn it. Michael Vick is a guy who was able to go out and try to show people that he learned from making a truly bad decision.
The NFL is full of those guys, and most of them have made a full recovery, came back, and showed that they are able to right their wrongs and get back in the league and play. And I don't think Myles Garrett would be any different.
And he's in the perfect city to do it. Cleveland, and I worked in Cleveland. I was there in Cleveland, worked there when Bill Belichick was the head coach, and they even ended up leaving town. Those fans love their players, so he's going to be fine when he goes other places. Sure. Right, so they're going to protect him. So that's a good place for him to be. They will protect him. They will not shun him at all. More news that we saw this week in football: Colin Kaepernick had a tryout, and it was supposed to be at the Atlanta Falcons facility. He moved it, and it's been very interesting to see how the reaction has been, and then also now what we're seeing is the media versus
Colin.
Colin and Eric Reed.
And Eric Reed.
So you give me your opinion on things here.
Man, I commend Eric Reed for sticking with his guy. I mean, they took the knee together at the beginning, and they've been sticking with each other ever since. The whole Colin Kaepernick thing to me is one, it's always going to be a little strange because nobody's ever going to come out and just flat out say that they blackballed him out of the league. So if we ever hear that, then it'll kind of be straight. But this workout thing was, hey, man, the dude really wants to play. Now, him really wanting to play doesn't equate to him having to do everything that the NFL says in order for him to go work out, right? He still has the right to disagree with a waiver or a location or without having the media come in. And in his heart, he could still want to play, but he don't want to give up his rights, or he know his morals, and he's been standing on that for 3 years. That workout is not going to get him to change, and you're going to look at him as a bad guy for that. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I didn't think it was fair either. Both sides. I mean, for him, he changed it at the last minute, hour and so, half away. But then the NFL, they set up this like out of nowhere, like a Saturday right before a game. They, the reps aren't the real reps who makes decisions for each club. They're not going to be there on a Saturday. They're traveling for the game and whatnot. But for me, I mean, it's hard for me to have a really, really good, It's just hard for me because I'm not very educated in this subject, that he's, battling for and all that stuff. So it's hard for me to, come up with a conclusion on this. But I mean, I agree with you. I mean,
his battle now is for his morals and what he's willing to do to get back in the league. He's willing to work out for 3 years. Yeah. He's willing to stay in shape. He's willing to work as hard as he can to show everybody that he wants to get back in the league. But then when it comes to challenging his morals, he's not going to do that. And he's been that way for 3 years. So nobody should expect anything different from him.
So you think he should just be like, hey, man, it is what it is, and stop trying to get in the league?
If somebody calls him, then, yeah, he should go. He keep working out. If somebody calls him, it is what it is. Yeah. But right now they're at this place to where the NFL's not going to budge, and he's not. So wait for the call, and nobody really expects that call to come.
That call ain't coming.
There is video out there, and so teams can all look at the video. But ultimately, this comes down to ownership. Okay, the 32 owners are going to have to. It's going to be on them to decide whether or not they want to have him here. Because if you sign Colin Kaepernick, even if you work the guy out, then I think even just working the guy out is going to call. People are going to be. Do you, as an owner, have the stomach to take all the criticisms, good and bad, that are going to come your way? And there's a lot of owners. Not even
going to be your starting quarterback.
Right. There's a lot of owners who truly are going to say, "I'm good." Jerry Jones has sat here and told you, I'm good. Sean Payton.
And that's fair.
Sean Payton, the New Orleans Saints said, we got quarterbacks. We're good. But I can tell you this, and you and I, we all know it. There's some owners who just say, nah, don't need it. Yeah, they don't want it. Sure. Because they're going to be customers who sit here and tell you, no, I will not support you. Now, I'm going to
say that is for everything.
And I also say this.
For everything.
Nike proved to a whole lot of people who said, remember they signed college, people like, I'm burning my Nikes, I'm never wearing Nikes. Their stock prices went up.
This is with almost everything, right? Everybody go crazy on Twitter. That's what a communication is, right? That's how people let you know.
Remember Michael Vick with the Eagles? Hey, man, I'm done. You killing dogs. You hired a dog killer. Burning your jersey.
That man won 4 games, and they was the greatest show on turf. And
Michael
everybody
Vick
was like, what dogs?
That's all. He's ours.
What dogs? You talking about dogs? Mike Vick ain't there on no dogs. We in Philly.
We're past that. That's history. We're past that. So we know that. So, but that does the owner? Do you have a Jeffrey Lurie? Okay, Jeffrey Lurie. Andy Reid took it to him as the head coach. Andy Reid's like, look, we want Michael Vick, and Jeffrey Lurie said yes. Now here comes the other thing we have to make sure we say too. Michael Vick was a special talent. Is Colin Kaepernick a special talent at his job in the way Michael Vick was? No. Because at the end of the day, it's always about, do you have a special talent? How did Greg Hardy get here? Greg Hardy had a special talent to be able to get to the quarterback, which is rare, and the Cowboys had a need. That's always when you talk about taking chances on guys, and you both play college football, how many guys stayed on your team that probably should have been kicked off?
Yeah,
because they had special talent.
But I think his talent is special enough for certain circumstances that teams are in right now without quarterbacks that are serviceable for their team. I think he has special enough talent to be on one of those.
And does the owner of these particular
want to deal with?
Yeah, but I know. But we talk about special enough talent, and I think circumstance for some of these teams who don't have a serviceable quarterback.
And for 3 years now, these teams have said, "Yeah,
listen, year 4 wasn't going to change it, and this workout wasn't changing it either."
At the end of the day, it comes down to what the owners want to do.
First of all,
at the end of the day.
what?
And the owners have spoken.
That's it.
You can speak without speaking.
Because it's their team. Like, I mean,
you can speak without speaking. The owners have spoken for 3 years.
Were you expecting, if everything went right for this workout, were you expecting him to get picked up?
No.
The NFL set this up.
I know.
Every 32 teams at any time could have picked up the phone and said, "Come on in."
So that's a no.
He was.
They've told you and shown you how they
was just trying to cover their
And so
butt.
then the league apparently through Jay-Z came up and said, "Let's do this." This wasn't any owner who wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. But if we know this, you think Colin don't know this? As he's pulling up to the Falcons facility? Come on, man.
So there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. This was an hour's gone by, bro.
Quick,
it's fun. It's fun. It's always fun. Okay. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media again.
At Barry Church 42. That's Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, Danny DMac44. On Instagram, Danny_McCray 40.
Follow me on Twitter at Newy Scruggs. It's NEWYSCRUGGS. It's NEWYSCRUGGS. And on Facebook, it's Newy Scruggs Sports. All right, give me a prediction. Cowboys, New England.
It's a tough one. I got the Cowboys taking an L. I'm going 24-17.
Well, following what I said last week, that we're going to win this game, I say we win by 3. Maher, 27-24.
Maharati.
I don't have a score for you yet, but give me New England because they win games, and you know this very well. They win games by you making mistakes.
Yep.
And the Cowboys are still making mistakes in games. And until they get that cleaned up, I don't think they can beat a team like New England who will not give you mistakes.
Can't start slow.
We turned the corner this week. We turn it. Boom.
Hey, look.
Mistakes out of there. Start fast. Actually, we probably start slow, but both teams probably will. I just say we won by 3.
All right, I'm going to be there. I will be at the game. And if C.J. Goodwin makes a play, I will find him in the locker room. Okay?
Please
do.
If he makes a bad play, don't find him.
If he makes a play, tell him to come on the show next Tuesday.
Well, we got Philip Tanner next week.
Barry Church, I'm Newy Scruggs. Thanks for watching and listening to the Players Lounge.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?